Mithrandiel here at TwitchCon 2016. I am joined by Alex Nichiporchik,
That's pretty good.
CEO of Tiny Build. Alex, what have you got showcasing here at TwitchCon this year? What are you excited about?
I am most excited about two games. We have just announced Hello Neighbor, and the day before we have announced Guts and Glory. Those are our new titles, which are gradually revealing our 2017 lineup, which is going to kick ass.
Yeah. So tell us about Hello Neighbor. I saw a little bit about this, I think it was at E3, and so it seems very different. What's this game about?
So Hello Neighbor is, as a European, when I came to the US for the first time and stayed in the suburbs, I was like, okay, if my neighbor in the suburbs would be holding someone hostage in the basement, I would never know, but I would want to find out. So that's kind of where the general idea of the game came from, what is your neighbor up to, and how can you make that into a game that's all about sneaking into your neighbor's house without getting caught. It plays a lot like Alien Isolation, where you're playing against an advanced AI, but what we did here is super cutesy Pixar-style graphics in a very unsettling environment, where, something is wrong here. You're sneaking into the house, and the guy is holding the basement door locked. He has a key on him. He constantly stalks you around the house. And the best part about the game is that the AI will learn from your actions and will counter those actions. So, for example, if you really like to climb in through the front door will be boarded up. Or if you like to sneak in via breaking a window in the back, expect a bear trap there. And then the AI will try to predict what you're about to do. So if you're running away from him, he will try to cut you off and then chase you. So the game is really all about outsmarting an AI that learns from the way that you play.
How long has Hello Neighbor been in development?
So Hello Neighbor had a very rough development cycle. The original game started over 2 years ago, and then last year they actually tried to do a Kickstarter and failed. So the project has been in limbo since Q4 last year. And when I played the demo that they originally were spreading to publishers, I was like, this is the best thing in the world. You're going to revive the project. You're going to finish this game. And we've been working on it for about 5 months on reimagining some of the things and figuring out what the final game might be. Because the challenge with sandbox-style games is you can create a sandbox, right? But then we wanted to have a goal. We want to have a story. So how the hell do you combine a sandbox-style game with story-driven gameplay? And I think we have a pretty good idea, and we'll be revealing that as the year goes on.
What was, in the development of the game, what was the biggest challenge? I mean, what got Hello Neighbor hung up in the first place?
The biggest challenge is making things obvious. You know how in Telltale games, when you make a decision, there's he will remember this. It's simple things like that of how do you tell the player what he's doing and what impacts the AI that you're playing against. Because when you play against people, you can kind of guess, right? But when you're playing against an NPC, it's very difficult to make it interesting and not overly complicated. We actually found this out with Party Hard, where you have each level is a sandbox where you have to kill 50 people. So what we did there is we overcomplicated the AI of the NPCs. We just made them okay, well, if this guy sees you next to a body 5 times, his suspicion meter goes up, and then stuff starts to happen. And it was just so complex, people didn't get it. As a game designer, you think about these things and you think they're going to be obvious, but it's just very easy to overcomplicate this. So that's where, with Hello Neighbor, we had to go back to the drawing board, reimagine everything, figure out what the core is. And the core, to me, is the feeling of suspense. The suspense thriller. Because I don't like jump scares. That's why I don't like games like Alien Isolation. I really don't like it being dark and then something jumps out of you. I scream in the cinemas. But that feeling of suspense horror, that's the amazing feeling. If you remember Inglourious Basterds, the opening, the suspense in that scene, that's exactly what we're going for in the game. Something is wrong. He's after you. You know that something is about to blow up, It's how instead of showing an explosion and having a shock, you first show a bomb, and then you show the scene, and then you know that at some point the bomb is going to explode. That's the difference in game design.
So when can we expect Hello Neighbor?
Hello Neighbor is expected next summer. I'm not going to commit to a date right now because we have a long way to go. The first demo that you're also going to get next Wednesday is going to give you a taste of what the game plays like in the sandbox style. and then based on that feedback, we're just going to have to iterate.
Tell us a little bit about Guts and Glory. I hadn't heard about this one. I'd seen Hello Neighbor, but I hadn't heard about Guts and Glory before.
So Guts and Glory is a physics sandbox game where ordinary people compete in the world's deadliest challenges. It came out on IndieDB a few months ago and is now on Kickstarter, and we have just recently picked it up to bring it to consoles. The general premise of this game is, imagine you're just a normal guy biking with his kid on the bike. You're not wearing any helmets, and then you get into all sorts of trouble. It's a very gory, I want to say Happy Wheels style 3D game. So the premise is very similar to Happy Wheels. It's track based, so you get to checkpoints and then you compete in challenges, and it's very gruesome. Like, I'll show you in just a little bit, you'll get what I mean.
Yeah. So how long has just going back to Hello Neighbor for a minute? How long has Guts and Glory been in development?
Guts and Glory has been in development for about a year by a single guy. He was juggling a full-time job, a couple of kids, and developing this game. So when we started talking with him, I just felt like he was me 5 years ago. So like, I really want to make games, and I didn't like my job and whatnot. So it's really inspiring to be able to facilitate that for someone, to make someone's dream of making games come true. And the game, it has made a ton of waves on YouTube. Like, every major YouTuber has played it, a ton of streamers have played it, and right now it's on Kickstarter. So if anyone backs it, we will really appreciate it. We have some sweet rewards there.
And then when can we expect to see Guts and Glory?
We're aiming towards the first quarter of next year, probably for an early access release, because it is a sandbox, and the thing with full sandbox games is that you can easily add one piece of content, and that exponentially grows the amount of content you can create within the sandbox. So like, you can add a new character or a new ability, and all of a sudden you have hours and hours more of gameplay.
All right, so just to wrap up, what's next for Tiny Build? Are you going to be at any more conventions this year? What's next?
The next big thing for us is preparing for next year, really, because what we usually do is we don't release many games in Q4 because the AAAs are out there in the battlefield, so we don't want to compete on that sort. We're going to launch Punch Club on 3DS very soon, in a couple of months. That's really exciting. We're going to launch Party Hard on iOS and Android very soon. And then we'll just keep rolling into next year. And next year you can expect us to see us at all of the PAXs, at PAX South, West, and East.
All right, well, Alex, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Have a great con.
Thanks a lot.